What is going on, everybody? My name is Jack Troy and I want to welcome you back to my YouTube channel. So, if you don't already know who I am, like I just said, my name is Jack Troy. I'm a 20-year-old serial entrepreneur and very soon to be real estate agent. I started this channel with the main purpose, the main goal of documenting my journey from getting my real estate license all the way through building a multifamily real estate investment portfolio to retire myself and my mother in the next 6 years. That's my goal. So if you want to see that progress, if you want to see that journey and how I actually make that happen from start to finish, make sure to drop a like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and follow me along and I'll keep you guys updated as I go. I also have a podcast where I kind of document more of the knowledge-based information, philosophy, mindset side of things, and I get that in a deeper way to you guys. But this channel is to kind of show you my day-to-day progress or my week-to-week if I can't get out consistent videos during the week, and maybe just kind of inspire you throughout the day with little pieces of content here and there. But like I said, if you find value in that, if you want to see my progress and how I make that happen, make sure to drop a like, subscribe, and I'll see you inside. So, getting into this video, I want to start off by prefacing what happened the past 2 weeks. So I've been putting out content for almost 3 weeks now. Not a lot of time, and I haven't had a lot of time to brainstorm on content either. If you've seen my last few videos, I've been bringing you through my process of getting my real estate license. I'm going through the course right now. I chose to do a 2-week intensive, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. power session that drives you through the program, gets you to 75 hours, gets you qualified, and lets you get into the state tests. You can actually just get your license expedited. If you see my updates, you'll see how it is a lot. It's a lot of content. It's a lot of thinking and remembering and studying and just endless and countless hours for 2 weeks straight. It's like a hell week, I'm not gonna lie. It's probably one of the most intense things I've ever been through, education-wise. I don't even know where to start with it. But if you see my last few videos, you'll see kind of me bringing you through that, my first few days, my first week and a half. And now this is the end of my first 2 weeks. So really quickly, before I get into what I actually want to talk about, I just want to say that was intense. Anyone who's thinking about getting into the real estate program, anybody who's thinking of getting their license, I'm not gonna lie, I would not recommend the 2-week course. It is a lot. Unless you have 2 weeks of being able to clear your mind out and not think about anything else, it's not gonna be the ideal thing because of the sheer amount of information that they have to squeeze into such a short period of time. This is something you gotta learn over the course of a month and a half, 2 months, not 2 weeks. I don't even know, I don't know how I'm gonna do on this test. I'll let you guys know, I'll update you on that. But that being said, that's for another time. Today's video, I want to talk about trusting the process because I have wavered on this so much in my life where I've told myself things. There's times you'll convince yourself that you think a certain way, you believe a certain way, but you almost think differently, you feel differently, you act differently. I've always said to myself, you got to trust the process. I've read it in books. I've heard it from the biggest mentors in my life, the biggest coaches, people I've listened to since the beginning of my self-improvement journey. And I've always believed that I trust the process, but I act almost as if I didn't. And I had to come to that realization recently. Now, that's a lot, right? So what do I mean by that? For those of you who don't know what trust the process is, and I know a lot of you do, but for those of you who don't know, it is the ability to put your faith, your belief, your trust, right, into yourself or a goal or a larger vision for yourself that you might not know how you're gonna achieve, but there are a lot of moving parts that have to actually come to fruition before the next doors can open for yourself. That might be a little complicated too, so I'll just say this. To get from where you are currently to where you want to go or want to be in the future, it is not a linear path, right? All right, so let's just use an example here, ready? Let's say you want to make a ton of money selling cars, right? You wanna, at some point, sell the most cars in America, and that is who you are, and that's exactly what you wanna do. You might be, let's say, 18 years old, you might be just starting out. Let's say you get a job selling cars at Acura, right? Let's say you're selling cars at Acura. You're like, okay, I want to get to this point in my career because I can make $1 million a year selling Lamborghinis, but right now I'm selling Acuras. How am I gonna make that happen right now? That might seem like a large stretch of time, effort, just things happening, life, and a lot of luck and opportunity that actually has to come your way from that to actually happen. Some people might see it as simple as, all right, I'm going to sell cars here, I'm going to do really good, then I'm going to upgrade to this place, and then I might upgrade to this place, and then I might end up at Lamborghini in 20, 30 years from now. Okay. That could be somebody's simple path and how they see it, but it might be completely different to how it ends up happening. Let's say their end goal was to sell Lamborghinis, right? This is more an example of how it could happen just by trusting the process. Let's say you think it's going to happen a certain way, but let's say you get fired from Acura. Let's say the first thing that happens in the first year is you get fired from that first job. You're like, damn, I thought I had it. I thought that's what I wanted to do. I really do want to keep going with it, but that seemed like the only option I had was to start there and then to work my way up. Let's say you kept your faith in yourself actually getting to that point, and you getting fired from Acura allowed you to get in contact with someone else from a different dealership that had another position opening. Let's say dealing with car auctions. Let's say the car auctions allowed you to see the insider kind of dealer side of the car industry and allowed you to understand how cars are bought and sold on the either totaled market, like the after insurance processing, sales side of things where cars go once they're destroyed and you could pick them up for cheap, or just salvaged cars go where they might not have anything wrong with them or they were just auctioned off or repoed on and stuff like that. You might see your way in and out of that. You might meet someone else that has a connection to a Porsche dealership at one of those auctions that you go to. Then you connect with them, you end up at Porsche, you end up selling a ton of cars at Porsche, but you thought you were going to end up at somewhere else at this point, right? Let's say you end up selling so many cars at Porsche, but then you get fired again. Let's say something happens, the company closes, you didn't even get fired. Let's say the company closes, right? You might have gained so much knowledge at this point, let's say built up a certain amount of funds where you might be able to go open your own dealership, right? Let's say a used car dealership. You're like, okay, maybe I'm not going to be selling Lamborghinis right now, but I can make enough money to end up in the position where I either own my own or I'm selling my own kind of cars that you maybe want to sell. So then you start, you open up your own dealership, you get some salvage cars in, you fix them up, you flip them on the used car market, and you keep doing that for a little bit of time. You build up a bunch of capital, everything starts going well. You open another branch. You make so much money, you can open up your own luxury car dealership. Now you went at the beginning of all this just thinking you wanted to sell cars for a certain company, all the way till you're selling cars for a luxurious company, to the point where you own multiple dealerships, right? It's still part of your plan. You're still selling cars. It's still in what you want to do. But just by believing you can do it and sticking to it, trusting that it was going to happen, you ended up in a way better position than you might have thought you can actually get to at this point. And you're not even at exactly where you want to be yet, right? Then you open up a few more dealerships. You get some good deals. Let's say one dealership closes down. Okay, great. I have a couple more to run off of based on the market. You keep building them up. 10 years time instead of 30 years, you might own your own Lamborghini dealership because you've built up the funds, you found the right location, you've got the allocations to actually open up the franchise, you saved up enough funds to buy either a running Lamborghini dealership or starting your own, refranchising out, and there you go. You've kind of managed to build up a portfolio of now running businesses instead of having to sell your way all the way to this lifestyle that you want to have at this point. Now, I know that kind of sloppy, but you could kind of see where I'm going with starting in one place, believing it's going to be this linear path, but something happens that you didn't expect to that throws you off, and by you believing in it, by you solely believing in where you're going to end up, you actually end up further and more advanced than where you actually wanted to end up. Like it just by trusting the process, God has a bigger plan for you. God, I'm not religious, but like whatever's out there has a bigger plan, and by you trusting in it, by you actually grasping onto it, you give yourself more of a leeway to mess up, but also see more opportunity and stay in the game longer for better stuff to happen for you. So that's kind of my little spiel on trusting the process. And I'm in that right now. I'm talking about that because I'm kind of dealing not with the wavering of the faith of it or like the trust in it, but seeing and I like to predict what's going to happen next, and I can't ever do it correctly, and it's never going to happen because that's not how life works. But I play this game with myself where I try to predict where I'm going to end up in 6 months. I work towards a certain goal. Like, goals are different than where you're going to end up. Like, you can have a goal, still hit that goal, but be doing it differently than you might have thought. But my struggle with it has always been either shooting too big too soon, like I'm able to achieve these things, but just giving myself a little more time, or just completely writing off the ability for certain things to happen that I know could be possible, but I might not want them to happen in a certain way, so I throw myself off. But yeah, that's kind of my spiel on trusting the process and my thoughts on it, and like a little example I could have given you guys. I could have given a way better example, honestly. I'm just wiped out. I'm wiped out every day these past few weeks just because of this course, and I'm trying to recoup my energy. I'm studying a lot every day, and I'm just trying to retain as much information as possible so I don't have to go through this freaking course again, because I can't stand it. I refuse to go through it again. But if I have to, so be it. But, you know, we'll see what happens. With that being said, again, I want to thank everybody for watching. If you want to follow my journey, I know this is more of me sitting down kind of content right now at my computer, just talking a little bit. But when things start to happen, you guys will be the first to see it. It'll be documented on my channel from day to day, from house listings to meeting clients to closing deals to buying my own properties. And that is going to come. That is happening. That is not going to happen. I promise. That's why I'm doing this. I'm accountable. This makes me accountable, right? With that being said, I want to thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, drop a comment, share, whatever you want to do. You don't have to do it either. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.
It's a cold, cold world. Came up from the bottom, it's a cold, cold world. Just cop it, I'm a roadie with some ice.